Okay. So the last thing is understanding the peer review process and responding to the reviewer's comment. Again, story. Dr. Essen submitted his manuscript 4 months back. He has just received an email informing that his manuscript has been rejected. He is very disappointed and closed his laptop, thinking that nothing in this country is on the right track. And these stupid journal editors and reviewers cannot understand his good research. So he's not going to publish anything. So has any one of you passed through this phase where your article you write with lot of effort, it gets rejected, and you feel dejected, and you really feel dejected and depressed? Has it ever happened to anyone? It has happened to me a couple of times. Rejection is always very painful. Okay, so Dr. Tuba, Dr. Yusuf, Dr. Kiran say yes a lot. Okay, another story. Dr. Abdul Qadir submitted his manuscript 4 months back. He has just received an email informing that his manuscript needs major revisions. He's excited but confused on how to respond to the comments of the reviewers. Do you have any advice for Dr. Abdul Qadir? What should Dr. Abdul Qadir do? Okay, good, Dr. Yusuf. Address point wise and reviewer wise. Okay, that's one thing. And any other idea? In a polite way. Okay, I agree. Good. So this is a conversation between two people, two professionals. It should be polite. Thank you very much for that. Dr. Hafsa, good. Acknowledge the reviewer that he has received the mail. Good. Dr. Mariam, read the reviewer's comments carefully. Thank you. Dr. Maria, again, read the author guideline. Good. That's fine. You can always reread them. Anything else? Any okay, so what is your advice for Dr. Hassan? He might actually commit suicide. He says कि मेरा article reject हो गया है, मुझसे कोई शादी नहीं करेगा. Any advice for Dr. Hassan? Dr. Hafsa, take it positively. How can he take it positively? Rejection हो गई है. Dr. Sajjad, ask his mentor. Good, yes. ये जो पूरे मोहल्लेदार whosoever comes in as a co-author, now go and ask them. Try, Dr. Mariam, try to apply in other journal. Good. Dr. Yusuf, he should read the reviewers' comments. Excellent. Stop thinking negatively. Thank you, Dr. Fawad. Good advice. Dr. Aisha, external peer review. Okay, fantastic. So let's see how I would proceed. So this is the peer review process. This is the summary. You write an article, you submit that article to the editor, to the journal. The editor or the sub-editor, first of all, scans the manuscript. If the manuscript fits well within the scope of the journal, it is written well, they would send it to 2, 3, or 4 peer reviewers. Peer reviewers are experts. Usually the peer review process is done blindly. Blindly means that neither the author nor the peer reviewers expert, they know each other's identity. But please remember, nowadays many journals are performing open peer review. That means that the author knows the peer reviewer's name and the peer reviewer knows the author's name. So if you have any conflict of interest, if you think that the author is your friend, your colleague, and you are not in a position to critique his or her work, please don't do that peer review, because it might create bad taste in your relationships later on. Because in Pakistan, we are not still at that level of maturity where we can take educational criticism positively. So once the peer reviewer read the article, if the article is too bad, they would suggest that reject this article. It does not make any sense. But if the article has some problems, but it's overall it's fine, they are going to give you certain comments, and you have to address those comments. Those comments would come back to you through the editor, and then you resubmit. Sometimes your revision works for the first time. Sometimes you have to revise your article 2, 3, 4, or even 5 times, because many times they send it to different reviewers, and it actually happens that sometimes the peer review process and the revisions might take more time than the actual submission. Okay. So number one, Dr. Hassan, the article got rejected. What should he do? Number one, recognize that there's something to learn from every criticism. It's an educational activity, and it's probably a blind peer review. Nobody knows who wrote the article, but people are spending their personal time in reviewing your article without any honorarium or without any recognition, right? So you have to act respectfully, you have to act polite, and assume that the editor and reviewer worked hard to read the decision. Everyone spent a lot of time to read the decision, even if it is rejection, right? Give yourself some time to digest the reason for the rejection. If the reason for the rejection is poor methodology, study design, so as my colleagues have said, please go back to your mentor, your supervisor, and your colleagues and ask them for help. Please just go back and try to re-review your article and see where the mistakes were made, and probably you can improve them. But remember that editor and reviewers are human beings and they can make mistake. And if you think that their rejection is not justified, it's harsh, and you can defend your article, consider an appeal. But my personal recommendation is, please, it is better to submit to another journal, because the process of appeal can take a lot of time and waste a lot of your energies. So simply go to another journal and you might be able to publish in that. Me and my colleagues have been rejected from many national journals, and then we have published in international journals. We have been rejected from international journals, and then we have published in good national journals. So it worked both ways. What about the other doctor, Dr. Abdul Qadir, whose article was not rejected, but he received certain comments? So how do you respond to the peer review comments? You have given me good ideas. Number one, read the reviews once and then file them in a safe location, which means that if you receive the peer reviewer comments right now, you don't have to start working on them immediately. Usually there's a 2 weeks, usually there's a 2 week time for responding to peer reviewer comments. If you have time and you can do it in 2 weeks, please do that. But if you think you need more time, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, please feel free to email the editor that my team needs more time, and they would give you more time. That's more appropriate instead of getting late. Number two, don't even think about the review for at least a week. Instead, go fishing, go golfing, Mari chale jayenge, like keep on roaming around, relax. Don't start working on your article immediately. Give yourself some time. Then read the reviewer comments again along with the instruction to author, and discuss the review with your co-author, and now plan your response. That you have to respond to each and every comment made in the peer reviewer comment. How do you respond to the reviewer comment? You have in the cover letter. Now the cover letter is going to be a bit different. Now the cover letter is going to address that, okay, thank you very much for your comments, and we have addressed your comments sequentially like this. You have to highlight the changes as per the reviewer comments, and many journals, they ask you to submit two files: a clean file which has all changes accepted, and a marked file in which you have to highlight the changes either by highlighting or making the text bold, or using the track changes. So whatever is the instruction to author, please follow that. Be courteous but firm. I agree with Dr. Yusuf, you have to be polite, but you have to be firm, because many a time the peer reviewer does not understand what you want to say. So you don't have to answer and acknowledge and do whatever they do. You have to be firm. And this is a sample how you respond to a peer reviewer comment. So this was one of our own articles. So this was Dr. Jeffrey Basford, editor-in-chief for Archives of Physical Medicine Rehabilitation. We have given the manuscript reference number, and now here we have given the title, because now our article is already in the system. So we started. Dear Dr. Basford, thank you very much for giving our manuscript a favorable response. We would also like to thank you for the constructive suggestions that have helped us to revise this manuscript. We feel that the improvements in this revision have adequately addressed the concerns raised. The itemized response to each of the suggested revisions and any changes made is listed below. We hope that the answers and revisions are satisfactory, and we would be happy to address any further questions or issues. Right? Yours sincerely. And now look at this. So page 7, line 7 to 8, suggestion was, please delete the sentence beginning with Pakistan has. It was a very basic and a simple suggestion. The sentence has been deleted as suggested. Don't make a fuss out of everything. It's a simple thing. Please just simply do it. Line 20, perhaps share the Islamic faith would read more smoothly. Obviously, the peer reviewer was an English-speaking author, so he gave us an advice that this change in English is better than what you have written. So we said, okay, that's fine. We agree. It has been changed as suggested. But look at this. Page 8, line 8. It is not essential, but the percentage of the population that fit the government of employee classification would be helpful. So what was our response? We did not have any statistics. We simply said, sorry, but I couldn't locate an accurate reference for this, and I would not like to make a wild guess. So I could not find a reference, so I did not put in this statistics, right? Okay, Dr. Fawad has a question. I answered the question, Dr. Fawad, inshallah, don't worry. So again, simple word, note, not. Okay, that's fine. Thank you for pointing it out. Corrected as suggested. So this is how you respond to the peer reviewer comments, itemized one by one in a polite and a firm way. So once you do that, and now again, please go back to the first session. If you have done a lot of pre-planning, you have trained a lot, you have a good team, a good mentor, somebody who can guide you, you are following the guidelines, and you have good research ethics, and sorry, I'm back. It got disconnected. Okay. Am I audible? Okay. So if you follow the advice, if you have a good research ethics and you don't involve yourself in plagiarism, if you do good literature search, if you know your skills, how to locate free articles, and if you write a research article based on the IMRED format, then you follow the tips that I gave you. You prepare your manuscript in a good way, you submit it in the right way in a timely fashion, and then you respond to the peer reviewer comments. Hopefully, you're going to receive an email that says, your article has been accepted. And honestly, let me tell you, it's a great feeling. It's a feeling of achievement. And the younger you are, the better that feeling is. And if those of you who have actually published something, please go back in time. The first time you received that email or letter of acceptance for a research article or even a case report, I mean, it really feels good once your name is in that article. It gives you motivation, and it actually provides you a positive feedback so that you can do more. And this is the time once you start celebrating. So as we come to the end of these 4 training sessions, my take home message for you is, it's time for action. It's really good to read. It's really good to listen to these kind of lectures, but it's important to engage in some kind of action. That is, please start doing. And as they say, there comes a time in every man's and woman's life when he or she must stop thinking and start doing. If you have not done all these steps so far, I would strongly request you, please take out like 30 minutes from your time after this session and do most of these right now. Tomorrow never comes. Number one, please enroll in a MOOC, a massive online open access course, either on Coursera or on edX. You can do a course on research writing. You can do a course on statistics and epidemiology. You can do a course on presentation skills. You can do a course on writing skills, scientific writing, whatever you feel like. Please enroll at least in one course. Find a good and honest mentor, so who can actually guide you. And if you don't get a mentor in your own institution and department, please register with AuthorAid, enroll in their courses, enroll in their mentorship program, and get guidance from the people who are already mentoring many mentees over there. Please start reading only 2 articles each week. I'm not saying each day. It's not even possible for a busy professional. So if you only read 2 articles each week, it's going to give you a lot of ideas, and your writing skills are going to improve. And the most important is, please start sharing and avoid what we call a chronic academic constipation. Share whatever you learn. The more you learn, the more it will come back to you. Life is all about sharing and teaching others. Every moment in life is a learning, teaching moment. Either you learn something or you teach something, and that's what life is all about. And write. If you're writing an article, don't wait for the last day. Don't wait for I will get like 6 hours at the end of the day. No. Write something. Probably you might want to write in the morning. That's fine. You might want to write before you go to sleep after lunch. That's fine. Or you might want to write late evenings or late night. That's okay. But do write something every day, and your article will start taking shape. Aim high and start now, because tomorrow never comes. As I end, I would like to acknowledge many people that helped me conduct these sessions. Iftikhar Saab, my colleague who coordinated all these registrations, my family, my parents who have been source of inspiration, my wife who is actually part of this teaching program, and my wonderful kids, specifically Mariam and Mohsin, who are actually managing these sessions with me, and they're actually on different computers monitoring all these sessions. Dr. Barbara Gestel, my AuthorAid mentor, who mentored me, who helped me around 10 years back, and alhamdulillah, today I'm able to help hundreds of people. Participants of previous workshop for their feedback, and all of you for being a part of this activity throughout. And I would strongly request and recommend that please do fill in the feedback form today. Please remember, motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. You might get motivated after listening to this lecture, But you know, if you want to make it a habit to write good articles, you have to do it on a daily basis, and you have to collaborate. For things to change, you have to change. If you really want to do something, you will find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. In your same institute and your department, there are people who are writing well, who are publishing well, who are teaching well, who are helping well. So learn from them, get inspired, and start doing the same. I do a couple of other workshops, and if the things get better, I'll restart my offline workshop. But hopefully from